Go on, Sumo years! Ohio gozaimasu. It's Kaider again. The fifth video is Years in Sumo. We go through some cliff notes of years in Sumo that were so popular. Now, Wiki says the first year in Sumo was 1987 when Hokutomi and Onokuni became Yokozuna. I believe that was second and third. I don't know. There was like 3 or 4 Yokozuna. But anyway, Futa Haguro is forced to retire. Now, let's see why. Okay, the tournaments, the news. In January, Chiyonofuji gets his 20th Basho victory, becoming only the third man to do that, Taiho and Kitanomi. And then he beats Futa Haguro in a playoff after they both finished 12-3. Anyway, Konishiki, as the second wake, was 10-5 and won the performance prize for beating both Yokozuna, Futa Haguro and Chiyonofuji. In March, Hokutomi won his second championship, being 12-3, beating Chiyonofuji and Konishiki. Anyway, and Futa Haguro retires on day 10. More on him later. Onokuni went 15-0. He beat Chiyonofuji, obviously. He was the first man other than Chiyonofuji to win in Ryogoku, which was built in 1985. Hokutomi took second, and then he became the third Yokozuna in 87, after Futa Haguro and Chiyonofuji. And the stable of Kokonyo became the first since 1949 to have 2 active Yokozuna simultaneously. Konishiki's Oseki after being 12-3, which is pretty good. He was the first foreigner to reach the second highest rank. Yokozuna, of course, being the first one. In July, Chiyonofuji ends up being 14-1 and beat Onokuni by 2. Konishiki won 9 bouts that year. Anyway, in September, Hokutomi won his first title at 14-1, who lost to Onokuni, who took runner-up 13. Chiyonofuji, I don't know how bad. Chiyonofuji withdrew from that tournament because of it. The September 87 tournament because of injury. Konishiki was 12-3, pretty good, 2 back of Hokutomi. In November, Chiyonofuji returned from injury to win his 22nd Basho with a 15-4. Senso Yusho, his 4th. Futa Haguro finishes 13-2, which is pretty good. Anyway, and Futa Haguro actually had to retire because he had an argument with his stable master and slapped his boss's wife. He was the first Yokozuna, and I think the only one ever to be forced out of the sumo world. I know Asashoru would have, but anyway. So in 88, Asahi Fuji won his first Basho. Chiyonofuji took the last 4 tournaments in 1988 and had the longest winning streak in modern sumo history before Hakuo broke it years later. In 89, Chiyonofuji and Hokutomi won 5 championships combined. Chiyono won 3, and Konishiki on the last Basho of 1989 won the tournament. In 1990, Asahi Fuji, Chiyonofuji, and Hokutomi took 2 titles. Asahi Fuji did not get Yokozuna status. No, sorry, he was Yokozuna. I guess he was Yokozuna first. Chiyonofuji in 1990 that would be his last Basho. Hokutomi and Asahi Fuji won their last ever Bashos. Kotonishiki won his first Basho, and Kirishima and Koto Fuji won their first and all the championships. In 92, Asahi Fuji retires, meaning that there were no Yokozuna for 8 months. That's amazing. That's long. Takano Hana, well, he was known as Taka Hanada. Now he's known as Takano Hana. Won 2 Bashos in 92. Akibono 2, Konishiki and Mito Mito Izumi won a basho. I thought Konishiki won 3 titles and only won 2. And of course, Konishiki got in trouble for allegedly saying that foreigner Japan, he should have been Yokozuna, but if he was Japanese. Anyway, in 93, Akebono broke new ground for foreign-born Rikishi, his most dominant, and has 4 championships, 4 out of the 6 championships, while Wakano and Takano Hana each swept 1. In 94, Musashi Maru from Hawaii won his first ever title, and Takano Hana finally becomes a Yokozuna, meaning a big rivalry between him and Akebono. In 95, Takano Hana puts 4 championships on the board, while Wakano Hana got 1 of the other 2. And then Takano Hana again got 6 sumos in 1990, has 4 titles in 96, and Takano Nami had 1 for a year sweep of the stable. The Futaka Oyama wrestlers do their dominance 97. Now 97 is famous because it was the only year of sumo that was on ESPN Classic Canada at the time. So basically, in January, Wakano Hana won the title, his 3rd ever championship at 14-1. Takano Hana was runner-up that day. Takano Hana in March in Osaka had a 4-way playoff, won in a 4-way playoff between Akebono, Musashi Maru, and even Kaio, who was a good wrestler. After all finished at 12-3. He then beats Kaio. Takano beats Kaio while Akebono took that care of Musashi Maru. Kaio, who upset the 2 Yokozunas, Takano and Akebono, got the Outstanding Performance Prize. Terrell is forced to withdraw TERAO after breaking his big toe, ending a run of over 1,359 consecutive bouts in the top division from 1979. Hard to believe that he participated in 1,300 national matches. Wakano Hana tore a muscle in his right leg. May 97, Akebono finally won a Yusho for the first time in 2 years by beating Takano Hana in both regular and playoff. And Akebono suffered 7 major losses to him in a row. Kaio was 7-4 on the 11th day and had to withdraw due to injury, which kind of ruined his chances to get higher up. So anyway, Takano Hana beat Akebono in July 97 to get his 17th title. It was 13-2. So anyway, Wakano Hana almost got knocked out of Oseki. He was an 87 record. And Dairu retired at 37 years old. When Chiyo Take won Tajiro and got to Makinuchi, he was the first top division wrestler produced by the former Chiyono Fuji. In September, Takano Hana won the basho by beating Musashi Maru in a playoff. Takano Nami took 3rd. Dejima was 11-4, pretty good. So anyway, in Kyushu, Konishiki, my favorite wrestler of all time, retired after only winning 5 belts at Makashira 14, which meant he had to be demoted to Juryo. He had 3 titles and 81 consecutive tournaments in the top division. He lost to Kotonowaka, and then the stable master handed in his retirement papers even before he was to face Mizuki Sato. Takano Nami actually won the basho by beating Takano Hana, stablemate, in a playoff. Both were 14-1. They didn't meet each other in regular bouts because they were from the same sumo stable. All Sekiwaki and Komusubi recorded Makikoshe, the first time it happened in 7 years. Only 1 special prize was awarded, Miss Musoyama for fighting spirit. Akebono had to sit out because of injury. In 98, Takano and Wakano Hana dominated again, and Koto Nishiki was the only wrestler ever to win 2 championships while being a Makashira, which was amazing. In 99, Musashi Maru starts to dominate and gets into the Sumo, the world Yokozuna status, I believe. Chiyo Taikai and Dejima won their first championships. I didn't know Dejima won out national. Let me just check a look. 99, Wakana Hana against Chiyo Taikai. He won a rematch. And now he became Oseki, the first new holder of the second highest rank since Musashi Maru took Kanonami in 94. Wow. Surprisingly, the first time in 5 years someone got to Oseki. Akebono has a herniated disc in his lower back, so he had missed that. Takano Hana was 8-7. Jeez. He almost retired. Anyway, so Musashi Maru won in March 99. And there was injury rules. Takano Wakano and Chiyo Taikai got injured, and Akebono was missing altogether. Everyone thought Akebono should have retired. Hey, Musashi Maru in May won his second title and became the second foreign Yokozuna. He beat Akebono on the last day. Kyle actually took second place. I think Kyle was a pretty good wrestler and never got it. Takano Hana got injured, and Wakano Hana had his leg sprain injury. Musashi Maru's promotion is confirmed, but he couldn't phrase his official acceptance correctly. But it's the first time since May 91 that there were 4 Yokozuna. Wow, that's amazing. Dejima won his first usual, beating Akebono. Can't believe Dejima beat Akebono. And Akebono nearly had a title. Takano Hana was 9-6. When he got injured, Wakano Hana was injured. And Dejima became an Oseki, which is amazing. Tochi Nawaka at 37 decided to retire. So anyway, Musashi Maru was in September 99 got his first Yokozuna championship as Takano Nami and Akebono withdrew early, and Wakano Hana became the first Yokozuna since Onokuni in 1989. He had all 15. He fought in all 15 days, but he got Makikoshe. He probably would have had to retire, I guess. Kinoshima at 32 was runner-up, which was amazing. Gave him 19 special prizes after winning 2. One more than Koto Nishiki. And Musashi Maru did it again. His 4th Yusho in November 99. Takano Hana ties Kyle for being runner-up. It's amazing. Takano Nami got demoted from Oseki, only winning 6 out of 15 belts. And Mainomi retired. He used to be known as Department Techniques. In 2000, 3 wrestlers win championships for the first time. Akebono his last. Akebono actually had a superstar run. I think he won 90% of his matches in 2000 or something. Anyway, a lot of people win. 2001, a lot of injuries. Takano Hana sat out pretty much all of 2002. Asa Shoru, the Mongolian superstar, wins his first of many titles. Of course, after Shoru, his career is pretty much in trouble. Takano Hana and Musashi Maru retired. I don't know when they said Akebono retired. I think 2001, 2002 he retired. Takano Hana, Musashi Maru retire. Great Yokozuna. Asashuru becomes a Yokozuna. Asashuru missed sweeping all 6 titles. Kyle was the only one to ruin him. Asashuru is first to sweep all 6 championships in his Grand Slam year. That's amazing. And Asashuru 2006 was doing good. Hakuho, his first championship was 9 years ago in 2006. In 2007, Hakuho begins his dominance. Asashuru is suspended because of not because of the hazing scandal. And then the hazing scandal I actually talked about in my last video. happened. Asashoryu comes back after suspension. Kotoshu became the first European to win a basho, and marijuana scandals begin. I didn't know that. 2009, Haruma Fuji finally gets a title. Hakuho has 3 titles in 2009, and he wins 86 matches out of 90. He only loses 4 that whole year. That's amazing. 2010, Asashoryu retires after a nightclub brawl. Of course, the baseball gambling issues, and Hakuho goes on his winning streak. 2011, of course, had that cancellation of the March tournament because of the match fixing. 2012, Baruto and Kyoko Tenho win their first championships, and Haruma Fuji becomes Yokozuna. 2013, Soku Kurai was the first expelled wrestler to be reinstated because of some issues. And in 2014, Kakaru wins his first championship. He becomes Yokozuna. In 2014, the last year, it was a big basho. Haruma Fuji, of course, couldn't compete in the January tournament. Hakuho won title number 28 in a playoff against Kakaru. Kisono Sato gets injured and had to pull out. It was 7-8, and he nearly had his Yokozuna, but Endo was the only one to win a special prize, the Fighting Spirit Award. So anyway, in March, Kotoshu retires. He was the first European Oseki and first European ever to win a top division championship. He acquires his Japanese citizenship and becomes a coach. Kakaru was 14-1. Hakuho, Haruma Fuji, and Guido were all 12-3. Anyway, Kakaru, the 6th foreigner to win Yokozuna, 3rd Mongolian. Let's see here. Hakuho May of last year won the title at 14-1 ahead of Kisono Sato. So anyway, Guido again gets the Sakawaki ring for a 13th basho. Will beat Hakuho. Anyway, Ichinojo wins the Juryo title. You'll know about Ichinojo soon enough. And in Nagoya in July, Hakuho, Guido, and Koto Shigeku were all entitled. Guido nailed Koto Shigeku. And in Hakuho, if he had lost to Haruma Fuji, it would have been a 3-way playoff. Guido is now an Oseki, very amazing. The 3rd active Japanese Oseki on the Bansoke behind the 3 Yokozunas of Mongolia. September, Haruma Fuji. A day after he'd been disqualified for hair pulling for the 2nd time, he decided to withdraw because of an eye injury. The battle of the tournament in September was between Hakuho and Ichinojo, who were 12-1. Ichinojo trying to become the first Makuuchi debutant to win the title since Ryogoku in 1914. He couldn't beat Hakuho, and then of course Hakuho won. He ties Chiyono Fuji. You know that. Hakuho in September, and then in November, Hakuho ties Taiho's record of 32-71 by being 14-1. And then, of course, Taiho died January 2013. That was amazing. Taiho, legendary guy. Anyway, so that's the years in sumo, and of course, 2015 is when Hakuho finally broke the record for titles by sumo. So anyway, we'll see what 2015 brings. Coming up soon, sumo record holders, Yokozuna, top 10 personal wrestlers, and top 10 sumos with 10 titles.